Hello everybody, Zonny putting in with some more Fallout New Vegas. That's so we came here to Hoover Dam / Legates Camp and are now fighting our way into the Legates area. So, let's get started. Not really started, let's continue where we left off. That's what I should have said. But I didn't because I'm a derp. So, oh well. Yeah, I'm gonna fight this guy with a knife. Even when he has this huge freaking sword. Cause that's a good idea, right? Right? Yeah, combat knife. I'm gonna fight him with a combat knife.
Coward.
Hey, let me talk
And
to you.
who are you to come before me? You bear the insignia of the bear, yet you do not wear it as a soldier of the West wears it.
That's right.
Many graves in the East are filled with those who said as much, with braver words, not backed by strength. It is Kaiser's will this gate to the West bear the flag of the Legion. Kaiser's will shall be done.
Yeah, maybe this is the reason then.
I see you fight with words, like all beneath the flag of the bear. Let us hope your skill with weapons proves greater.
The spell is decided, that's why I'm here.
So you seek quarter? Terms of surrender?
Not really.
Our roads into NCR are hung with the bodies of those who attempted to negotiate with us. Save your speeches. We will take Hoover Dam and move forward until our feet crush the setting sun beneath them.
Move forward. The Legion has spent years trying to take Hoover Dam.
Hoover Dam has never seen the mass strength of the East. Only legates such as Graham, who deserve the fire Kaiser blessed him with. Now I am here, and make markers of your people as the Legion carves its way west.
And then what of the East?
You speak in circles. What of the East? I am the East, and I will prove it this day.
Can you know the East crush the West?
The victory here shall be swift. Our forces shall take the dam, secure it, then build a road west on the bodies of the NCR. The East will hold. Once across the Colorado, nothing to rival Hoover Dam remains.
Yeah, we'll accept Vegas. It is not the strength of the West that will slay you, it is their weakness.
Your weakness? You seek to thwart me by claiming the Legion is too strong for you?
NCR's weakness is its size. He'll take your entire army to hold the West.
That does not mean we would not succeed.
Eventually, moving your whole army east means losing the West. You can't hold both of them.
The East was a hard-fought campaign. Even now, Kaiser drew too much of the Legion's blood needed there for this. Hoover Dam is but a place. I will not have it be the gravestone of the Legion, whether quickly, or as you describe, slowly, by attrition.
Yeah. There is victory in wisdom, Legate.
As for wisdom, there is wisdom in your words, man of the West. Know that I shall return east. I shall not remain there forever. On that day, the strength of the bear shall be tested. If the West is one day filled with ones such as you, perhaps it shall be a worthy fight indeed.
Feel that way it matters, because we'll see differently in time. Yeah.
My coming would have saved you, set your people free in ways they cannot see. War would have tested them, broken the weak with its violence, yet allowing the strong to arise. Violence gave you that strength, awakened you. I can see it upon your face, where 2 bullets left their mark. Perhaps it is unfortunate Wolpex was not here to hear your words. Something tells me you would prove more than his match. Until the day when our armies meet again, NCR, I shall wait for you on the battlefield.
Oh, yeah. Guns, why not? Throw some guns and some barter, because why not? And we'll just do Hunter. And that's how a silver tongue can solve almost all of your problems. So yeah, not too shabby, not too shabby. Oh, sweet. That was bright. Ooh, how fancy. Hello, General Alverser. I took care of what's his name, the legate.
That's a fine bit of work back there. Truth told, I'm surprised you made it out of there in one piece. You and the dam.
Yep.
I'm impressed to say the least, and that's no easy thing. You secured NCR's future. The administration sends its thanks for what it's worth.
Yep.
And we're glad to have you. Whether you're a soldier of the Republic or not, you're it in my eyes. Sometimes the Republic gets lost along the way while it's trying to follow its instincts. But when soldiers like you come along, it helps them get back on track and does it by example. And what you've done here today, that's going to keep us going for a while.
What happens now?
We clean up, take prisoners, watch the east for any more trouble from the Legion. Though I think they're still running, according to our scouts. After that, we'll see what happens when the dust settles and how the Mojave looks now without Caesar coming for its throat. Something tells me we better enjoy this breather while we can. And if that means Vegas, then you and the troops have earned it.
Yeah, maybe challenging's in order.
Can't keep the courier spirit down, eh? Fair enough. We'll clean up here. Kind of curious how this is going to pan out in the long run. But I guess history will tell us in its own sweet time.
I guess lockpick, because why not? Nothing I can really do anyway, so... Yeah.
And so the courier who had cheated death in the cemetery outside Good Springs cheated death once again, and the Mojave wasteland was forever changed. The new California Republic celebrated its second victory at Hoover Dam, establishing definitive control over the entire Mojave wasteland. Soon after, they negotiated terms to annex the Strip, Freeside, and many surrounding communities. The Mojave wasteland, at long last, had entirely fallen under the NCR's banner. The courier, fair and even-handed in his dealings throughout the wasteland, was honored by the NCR for his support of the military at Hoover Dam. He was presented with the Golden Branch, the highest civilian decoration given by the Republic.
Tabitha and Rhonda went east, through Caesar's land. Occasionally, tales of their exploits found their way back west, though few believed them. Eventually, the stories concerning the duo were collected and published, and proved to be quite popular with children.
Still grappling with self-doubt over his usefulness in the face of old age, Raoul was never able to find peace with himself. Eventually, he left the Mojave and assumed a new name, as he had done so many times before.
With the help of the Gunrunners, the Boomers developed a healthy trading relationship with the NCR. Eventually, the Boomers began wandering out into the wasteland, while still preventing outsiders from entering Nellis.
The Brotherhood and the NCR in the Mojave Wasteland declared an official truce, despite continued hostilities between the two in the west. As per their agreement, the NCR handed over all suits of salvaged power armor, and in return, the Brotherhood helped patrol I-15 and Highway 95.
The peace with NCR served to ease Veronica's worries about the Brotherhood's immediate future. Still, a distance had arisen between her and her fellow members that would never be bridged. She began secluding herself in crumbling libraries of the old world, learning of promising technologies she knew the Brotherhood would never adopt.
Their leaders destroyed by the courier, the fiends scattered throughout the wasteland. Without the organization of Motor Runner, Cook, Violet, and Driver Nephi, they were easy prey.
After the NCR's victory at the dam, the followers of the Apocalypse were pushed out of Old Mormon Fort during its occupation by NCR forces. NCR further encouraged them to leave Outer Vegas entirely, and the followers had no choice but to comply.
Good Springs saw more trade along I-15 after NCR gained control of the Mojave Wasteland, but with that came a heavy burden of the Republic's taxes. Some old-timers, unable to handle the cost, were forced to move on, grumbling all the while.
During the Battle of Hoover Dam, the Great Khans quickly evacuated Red Rock Canyon and headed north and east into the plains of Wyoming. There, they reconnected with the followers of the Apocalypse and rebuilt their strength. Bolstered by ancient knowledge of governance, economics, and transportation, they carved a mighty empire out of the ruins of the Northwest.
Thanks to the courier and Lily,
A cure for the Nightkin's schizophrenia was found shortly after Dr. Henry's experiment concluded. Nightkin and other super mutants in the wasteland flocked to Jacobstown, and the town became known as a haven where a mutant could find peace.
Lily continued to take her medicine at half doses, and although she remembered her grandchildren, her mind remained muddled and confused. Eventually, she parted ways with the courier and traveled west, seeking the remnants of her past.
After the NCR victory at Hoover Dam, the temporary truce between them and the Kings blossomed into a full-scale relief effort for the people. While the NCR made repeated entreaties that Freeside join the Republic, the Kings steadfastly maintained their independence.
Revitalized by Violetta's brain, Rex eventually learned to balance the memories of his old life with Violetta's experiences among the brutal fiends. His mind had difficulty adjusting, but Rex eventually found peace with his new, more vicious self.
The Misfits' laziness caught up with them when the Legion attacked Camp Golf. Those who weren't killed in the attack attempted to flee, but were caught at Mojave Outpost, court-martialed, and hanged from the Ranger Monument.
Though Novak was a low-priority target for the Legion, many of Novak's citizens died in its defense. In the weeks that followed, several bright followers returned to Novak to help restore its defenses, allowing it to remain independent of NCR.
After Hoover Dam, the leaderless powder gangers at the correctional facility vanished into the wastes, leaving the prison empty. The correctional facility became another abandoned ruin in the wasteland, its carcass occasionally picked over by enterprising prospectors.
With Cook dead, the powder gangers at Vault 19 fell apart. Those who weren't destroyed by the courier fled into the hills or attempted to work their way back through the Mojave wasteland. Few survived.
After Hoover Dam, NCR helps rebuild Prim as a major stopping point on the Long 15. Though Prim citizens chafe under NCR's taxes, they benefit greatly from the increased protection and merchant traffic.
And so the courier's road came to an end, for now. In the new world of the Mojave Wasteland, fighting continued, blood was spilled, and many lived and died just as they had in the old world. Because war never changes.
Man, I love New Vegas. I absolutely love New Vegas. I gotta say, some of the stuff kind of made me sad, like the Misfits and Good Springs kind of made me sad because the old timers had to leave, but overall, we did a fairly positive, that and the old followers, that made me sad too, but overall, we've had a very positive influence on the Mojave, so I'm happy about I'm happy about that. We did some bad things, of course, but overall, we did a lot of good for the people there, and so I'm pretty happy about that. I gotta say, it has been a crazy ride from start to now the finish. When I first started recording this, I was using a kind of a bad microphone, and I was very, very inexperienced in in speaking, editing, pretty much everything to do with recording and stuff. And so it made for really bad audio quality and video quality overall, but as I've developed it and I've went through this, I've learned new skills and I've learned to speak a bit clearer and kind of ramble on about stuff that I feel is important to me or that I find be interesting for everybody else. And so it's definitely been a positive experience on my life and just overall. And so I'm happy that everybody was here to watch it and be along with us, along with me, really, for the ride. And I think next time we might be heading off to a new location. Possibly we might just go for a plane ride. And by that I mean might just fly somewhere. I think I'd like that. I could use a little trip somewhere. So, until next time, I would like to remind you all to stay cool.